is something I do want to discuss a little bit, and that is
Top Thrill Dragster.
I know we all have been wondering what the situation is with Top Thrill Dragster, and Cedar Point confirmed that it will be reopening in 2024. So, what do you guys think is going to happen to Dragster? Start with Ace. I'm curious what Ace has to say.
Well, first and foremost, I anticipate that Top Thrill Dragster is not just going to be the same as it was before. You give another year, we're looking at a literal repurposed Dragster that's going to have more elements to it. And you know how King the Car has that extra hill? I can see some inversions, quite a few things that'll be added to it. And of course, the LSM launch is definitely a given.
Yeah, Colin, you and I have talked about this a bunch, but given that I'm the closest one to it, I guess I don't know I don't necessarily know anything, but like there's been a lot of stuff confirmed. Like Tony Clark confirmed at our holiday party that the rides that were moved to the boardwalk were done strategically. I could see Corkscrew only having a year or two more, depending on what they're going to do, if they have to build outwards or not. I'm pretty sure they're going to put some kind of reverse spike or something on it. We were joking around, and I said they should either put a spike the other way and reverse the launch, and then shoot you, like swing launch you back up into the top hat backwards, which would be insane. Or if they put the launch track on the other side, shot you up the side with the helix, and then or the spiral, and then back straight down the other side. Like you'd be dropping 400 feet straight to the ground. But yeah, I agree. I'm pretty sure they are going to go with LSMs. I'm pretty sure that's a given. I know that we were trying to figure out how they were going to do that, but I'm pretty sure they figured something out. And I really think it's Intamin working on the project. I don't think it's Zamperla like people are rumoring.
I also never had any doubt that Top Thrill was going to stay. I also think they'll do LSM launches, and I'm wondering if the layout's going to stay exactly the same, and they're just putting LSMs in. But I think after this teaser, they're building up a little too much to it for them to not do something different with the layout. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see something like in the way of Pantheon, more or less, in terms of ride experience. I think it'd be interesting.
Yeah, I think with Top Thrill Dragster, I personally think it's going to be Zamperla just because they're already working on another accelerator, turning it into an LSM coaster, and also Cedar Point's working a lot with Zamperla. But I'm not totally sure about the track just because it'd be interesting to see how Zamperla track would work with connecting to an Intamin coaster, while the one that's being refurbed in Canada is the exact same track, just put new launches on it. So if Top Thrill Dragster was getting new track for new elements, which I think it is, it'll just be interesting to see how that interfaces with the existing Intamin track.
So for me, I think I side a lot with Bob. I think that they're definitely going to extend the layout. At least I hope they will. I think just converting it to LSM and hyping it up as this big new thing would be kind of disappointing, if I'm being honest. So I think that they're going to add something to the layout. I think there's a couple different ways they could go about it. I think they could switch the launch to launch from the other side so that you twist up the top hat and then go straight down the top hat on the other side, and then do some things over by Corkscrew in that area. I think that'd be really cool, but I definitely think El Toro Ryan's videos, if you haven't watched them, I think he knows what he's talking about. Sounds like he has a pretty trustable source. So I think whatever he's saying is probably likely to happen, but I guess we're going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, I definitely concur with that. You just took the words right out of my mouth of Dragster going backwards, right up the spiral and then down where it came from originally. And of course, the layout, like I alluded to earlier. So you have to do that. Come on, you're looking at 24. It's 1 year from now. So it's not going to be just the same old Dragster. So we're looking at a big project. And then you saw the dirt that was removed right behind the station. You know, there's a whole bunch of work going on over there. I'm sure y'all saw that video.
We do have some comments in here from the chat. The first one comes from Coaster Hour. I think it will just be the addition of Zamperla refurb and LSM launch. At most, I could see a reverse spike, while 2024 is a while from now. Keep in mind the PNE LSM launch will also be 2024. That is very true. PNE coaster is receiving no layout changes, which is the point I'm trying to make. So much time does not need does not confirm an extended layout. That is true. I mean, I don't know how complicated it could really be to retrofit with LSMs, but hey, I don't know enough yet. Another one from M&N Amusements. I think Bob's right about Corkscrew. Its days might be numbered. I don't even ride it anymore. I don't ride it anymore either. It's not the most fun ride out there.
The only thing is that I have trepidation about the capacity. I don't see that Zamperla launch being as powerful as the hydraulic launch, and they're talking about how many seats? Like less than 18, right? Less seat, less capacity. That's the only thing I have trepidation about.
I'm not too big on how low the capacity is going to wind up being now.
No, that's the only concern. I love the idea, but I don't like that capacity.
No.
Yeah, if Intamin could do something like, or not Intamin, if Zamperla could do something like Intamin's high-speed switch track, where they could have train after train just going in, ready to load in the station into a swing launch or whatever they may add, that would definitely increase capacity, but I think it'll be kind of disappointing if it's such low capacity and they don't have that. Like if it's 12-person trains, like, I mean, Fahrenheit at Hershey or Maverick are both 12-person trains, and those are small and they don't have the best capacity. Maverick is okay just because it's such high output at once, but I'm just worried that Zamperla wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, and I also think the whole thing with the word formula being in there, I think people got real excited about like, oh, they're like theming after Formula One, but I'm pretty sure the new formula thing just means literally LSMs. Like I think that's all that was going for.
Yeah.
Me too, but they built it up so much that I can see how people will think that there's going to be these massive layout changes, which before I was 100% thinking they're just going to put the LSMs in, but now after that video, I'm kind of curious.
I think if they don't make like major layout changes, they're going to have a lot of disappointed fans because in all actuality, it's probably not out of the question for them to have it ready with LSMs and no layout changes in 2023. I don't think that would be out of the question for them to pull off. Maybe not for opening day, but later on. But I think that, they really should make this a big deal. I mean, they're not going to get this kind of an opportunity again with this ride. And the main complaint about Top Thrill Dragster and King Dakar from all guests I've heard is that it's too short and there's not enough to it. So this is your golden opportunity to not only make it more reliable, but to also make it a better ride overall. I don't know if this was said earlier. I don't know how, say, Zamperla track would flush with Intamin track and like mixing the two. Maybe the Zamperla track would be rough. I really don't know. But I do think that they should do something other than just the LSM retrofit. And regarding a theme, I think personally they should go full on space theme. Magnum's already halfway through the space.
With Gemini there that they might do something like that actually.
Because Gemini Midway, it's kind of themed to like the 80s, honestly. It's kind of like a disco over there, or 70s, however you want to phrase it. But they could really take Gemini Midway all the way back to, I guess, up by where those flat rides are getting moved, and just theme that whole area to space, kind of in an Orion sense. And Top Thrill Dragster would be perfect to be themed to space.
Wow.
I mean, we saw from L2 Orion's video that they're going to make the supports gray. And I think that could definitely work well. I don't know if they're going to repaint the track. They probably won't. But there's just so much they could do. I think a space theme would be absolutely perfect, especially with Magnum right there.
Yeah. They did have Disaster Transport. That was a space theme. So, yeah, I could see that. But at the end of the day, we're all going to be surprised. Let's just hope that it's in a positive sense. And I am optimistic because of all the money that they got from Cedar Fair, that they're going to definitely put some good money into this Dragster repurposed. I could see that. So that's the optimism I have for Dragster in 24.